Hi, I'm Ed Regner, the owner of Drive Physical Therapy, a mobile private PT business that services the Cape Cod and the Plymouth South Shore region. And I'm starting a series where we get to know the community, members of the community, and introduce them to the rest of the community. So today we have Julianna Coughlin.
Hi.
Hello. Who she runs the Runnah Show,
Yeah.
which I would love for you to explain what that is.
Okay, well, hello everyone. I'm Julianna Coughlin, like Ed said. My past life is being a registered dietitian, which I still do part-time, a little bit on the side. Current life is being a social media manager and also the producer, host, and person behind everything that is the Runnah Show /podcast /YouTube entity that it is. Pretty much if you have a platform, you can probably watch or listen to Runnah. But it's just a show about celebrating the community that is the Falmouth running community, the Cape Cod running community, the Massachusetts running community, and just people who are running in general. So,
Like both of us.
yeah, like Ed and myself. So it's been great to do this show, and I'm excited to be interviewed by you today.
Yeah, I'm excited to ask you these questions and see what you have to say. For question number one, what made you start running, and especially running marathons, which is a whole beast of a race?
Yeah, I mean, so my running origin story is way before I started running marathons, like most people.
Yep,
But a lot of people think that I was like a track athlete or something, or like actually was competitive in any capacity. I was not.
Any sports?
No. I did trampoline when I was in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't
very
really
tiring.
Yeah, it wasn't competitive though, really. But what really started it was my best friend Lydia in high school was like, Julianna, wouldn't it be crazy if we ran a mile together after school every day? I was like, Lydia, that's insane. She's like, let's do it. And I was like, let's do it. And so we did that for like a couple of months, and then my mom saw us doing that, and she was like, hey, do you want to do like the Couch to 5K program? And so we like printed off the PDF, went to the high school track, and like did the Couch to 5K program. And I thought I was such a badass doing 5K.
Yeah.
Like I finished the 3 miles, and I was like,
yeah, I'm a marathoner.
I'm a marathoner now. Thank you so much. I will be too. You can you can line up for autographs right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Olympics, here I come.
Yeah, here I come. And yeah, so that was how I started running. And then my running journey has been like pretty gradual. It's more or less kind of, I think, how yours has been a little bit, Ed, where it's just you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, I can do more. And you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
So I just gradually started running longer distances. Actually, my first road race ever was the Falmouth road race.
Oh, nice.
So kind of like a nice full circle moment there. And then lived in Richmond, Virginia for a little bit. Got inspired by this wonderful woman, Karen, to run the Richmond half marathon.
Okay.
Did that, and I was like, cool. Moved up here, ran the half marathon up here, and saw like the Cape Cod Marathon weekend happening, because that was the Cape Cod half marathon. Yeah. And just really caught the running bug between being part of that weekend and also just being part of the Falmouth running scene down here as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And I was like, I got to do that, and so here I am.
I mean,
many years later.
Running in Falmouth is very easy to catch the bug with just the scenery that you're running around, right? Yeah. Not only the community, but the routes that you're running. It's gorgeous. One of our connections is that the first marathon she ran was the last marathon I ran.
Before you took a little bit of a break.
Yeah. I took a 5-year break until I ran the next one. But yeah, it was the Cape Cod Marathon in 2018, which was just
which was my first marathon.
The old route.
Yeah, which is some people really are just like live or die by, but I'm like, yeah, I die by that. Like it has a spot in my brain, but just like as someone who's part of the organizing committee on the Cape Cod Marathon right now, logistically, never mind like running it, logistics behind the scene, absolute nightmare fuel.
I can't imagine what it takes to put on a marathon.
It's a lot, but it was a lot worse when it was that route. Like, let's just say that.
Well, the traffic and like
a lot of the roads that you ran through, like Tom Landers, you know, that you up there like through miles like 7 through like, I don't know, like 15 or something. Yeah. You're running with like 18-wheelers going by you the entire time.
I think I told you. I remember I saw a runner in front of me. His arm got hit by like a side mirror of a truck. Yeah,
and it was terrible. And like getting people to the exchange zones for the relay, like the one that's up near Tony Andrews' farm, the one that was down in Woods Hole. There's no parking. There's no way to get there. It was just and the Chappie one was a mess. And it was just like
But now it's
a lot better now.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it's 10. I'm very, very biased, but 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no, great marathon. I can't wait to do the Cape Cod Marathon again in the new route.
This time you get announced as a local legend. Anyone who I know
Ooh.
gets announced, you get an extra cheer and you get announced as a local legend.
I'm holding you to that.
Huh?
Okay, all right. You heard it.
Yeah,
right here.
I'll do it.
You heard
I
it.
do it for anyone I know or anyone I recognize or anyone whose name shows up in front of me that says they're from Falmouth.
Yeah,
They get announced as a local legend.
love that. Love that. All right, so I can add that to my resume.
Yeah.
Next question. How has joining the running community changed your life?
Everything.
Yeah, you were hinting to it when we were talking earlier.
Yeah. I mean, my life largely, and this podcast / show is kind of, one, it's turned into me showing off my friends to the rest of the world, of me being like, hey, if you watch episode X, Y, and Z, you can see that person I talk about all the time. Yeah, it's me showing off my friends, but me also realizing that I am going to be the running gremlin of Falmouth at some point. Like this community has become my community. Like this is my family.
Yeah.
Even like one of the funniest moments that kind of like will illustrate this a little bit is when I ran the Tokyo Marathon last year.
Yep.
I did the 5K that's the day before, which I don't recommend. It was the only thing in Tokyo I don't recommend is that 5K. Everything else was fabulous.
Should
But
I ask why?
it just, so you know how long a 5K takes. It's usually somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour.
Yeah.
I left my Airbnb at 8 a.m. and didn't get back till 3 for half an hour of running.
Just the commute and everything.
The location was not convenient to get to. There was this whole like pomp and circumstance like dance thingy that was beforehand. That was just
oh my gosh, yeah.
And the course was not good. It was just like,
Don't do it.
honestly, everything else in Japan was 10 out of 10 stars. This was just not. No.
Wow.
But
Good to know.
Yeah. As I was waiting in like the crowd to get started with the 5K, and I heard someone, and we ended up talking, and we ended up coming to the conclusion that she was really good friends with Mike Falcone, who was the person I ran my first marathon with. Like me and Mike ran together.
Wow.
And Mike and I still run together now. And so we sent him a picture of us in Tokyo together. We didn't know each other.
Yeah.
And then I saw her at the Cape Cod Marathon this year because she runs the
gosh.
half every year because she lives in town.
Just the running community,
It's a full circle moment right there.
It's such a big community, but such a
But yet
small
so small at the
community.
same time.
I actually was surprised when I heard like how many runners there really are in the world, or at least marathoners. Because when you
It's
run a
not that
marathon, you feel
many.
like the whole world runs a marathon because there's so
I tell
many.
myself that too all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, everyone does this. And then they're like, Julianna, not everyone does
It's a
that.
very small percentage.
I'm getting ready to enter I feel like weird about it. I'm like, oh, Julianna, you're going to enter that even smaller percentage of people who like run like longer than marathons.
Yeah.
Who are now like, more people are going to look at you like you're freaking insane. I'm like, yes.
I wonder if there's like a percentage of people who accidentally run ultras.
I feel like that percentage
like-
is probably higher than the percentage of people who run them on purpose.
Yeah, not many people are that intentionally crazy.
Yeah. I am though.
Next question, kind of different than running, but actually we'll blend the two. You are a dietitian, nutritionist by trade.
Yep, that's
what
my
made you
master.
make that switch?
It was more just, so I think you're going to relate to this very much so, and we
Probably.
kind of already talked about it a little bit off camera, is that I went to be a vocal studies student in college. Like I wanted to do voice and sing.
Yeah, I love that.
And my mom said, if you do that, I'm not helping you pay for any of your college tuition at all. And so I said, well, what else do I want to do? And I decided I wanted to go into being a dietitian because like eating healthier had changed my life. And like that was great and all good, all well. And I was one of those kids when I left college, I was like, I'm going to save the world.
Yeah,
Woo!
I know that.
And then I realized real quickly I was not going to save the world, and ended up working in nursing homes for a long time. I'm coming up on 10 years of being a dietitian this July.
And you still practice it?
Yeah, I still have my license. My license is active. I have private clients that I take on the side, which is my preference. I like I think with you, Ed, I like to work one-on-one with people.
Definitely.
And I do love giving like group presentations, but those only get you so far. Which is fine. But I was miserable working in nursing homes.
Not able to do like what you wanted.
Not at all. Like I was just, and it was just depressing. Like working in nursing homes, like I did enjoy a good portion of it. I love old elderly people. I think they're the funniest thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
And
they do have some zingers.
oh gosh, I always just joke that elderly people are like small children that know how to swear and they know what sex is, and that's really the only difference.
I think you're probably right there.
So I have just like almost 300 patients I was taking care of, or residents, and I'd be getting pennies for that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I came to that realization as well.
Yes.
The burnout in the medical world is a real thing. And so that went from, how do you choose like to go to the running world from there?
yeah. So I kind of like decided I wanted to give myself time to breathe, more or less.
Okay.
And just thinking like, okay, what do you actually want to do with your life, Julianna? You're freaking miserable. Everything is horrible. And ended up taking a job at the running shoe store, which for the time was great. We'll say was, again, kind of I think how you felt, like still confined in some way, because it's not my business. It wasn't my rules to be setting.
Gotcha.
I was just there as an employee.
Yeah.
Which I had a great time. I made a lot of great connections.
Yeah.
Which I think put me in a zone where I was like, I really like enjoy connecting with the community.
I really
I really love it.
You're really good at it.
I love being a part of the community. I really love interacting with the community. I love like the running scene. Already like I knew that I liked that somewhat, and then just like kind of taking it up to the level 10 with like being in the shoe store on top of like being part of the Cape Cod Marathon, which I've been with part of the organizing team for about 6 years now.
Okay.
So that obviously predated that.
When we ran it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was literally the
next year.
I think it was that like winter fall time when Jack asked me to start the social media. Pretty much came up to me and was like, "You're a youngin'. You know how to do social media." I was like, "I'll try, Jack." Fast forward to now where it's like my full-time job.
Love it.
But yeah, I just kind of connected with the running community more, and I really enjoy that. I also am someone who has ADHD, and I have like special interests, and like running is definitely a special interest for me. It's something that like especially shoes too. Like
shoe connoisseur, running shoe connoisseur. She won't admit it, but I'm gonna put the label on you.
Experienced in shoes, I'll say.
Yes.
Has had many good and bad relationships with shoes.
I mean, I will say, to piggyback on that, like I've been watching your show on Instagram, and you know, when I was trying to think of things to do on how to meet the community and network with people, doing shows and interviews was presented to me, and I thought of your show like, and that's why I reached out to you, is because I was like, you do a show, you're really good at it, like
there's an idea here.
Yeah, and like I know you'd be very comfortable being interviewed, and
I love being interviewed.
Yeah, and,
it's so fun.
But I just think I like that organic way of meeting people, and again, when you know, owning a business, again, networking is what everyone's, you know, it's always highly recommended.
Yeah, it can make or break you.
And I just think for me, networking means meeting other people and connecting with other people, and I think you do a great job with your show, and that's why you're top of the list of the starting this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just something that I really enjoy doing, whether it's in the running space or beyond. It's funny because I'm also very involved with the Harry Potter space,
which I know nothing about.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
But me and my friends like to joke that you can't get more than 2 degrees of separation away from me in the Harry Potter community because of the connections that I have.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I'm personal friends with the guy who played Percy Weasley, and also personal friends with one of the like top-ranking Harry Potter podcasters.
Oh wow!
Of like all time.
Wow.
And so, try and get more than 2 degrees separation away from me. You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
The challenge has been posed.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see.
Try
Next question.
Do it. You can.
Aside from the obvious answers of diet, nutrition, and physical activity, since you are a dietitian, a nutritionist, and a runner, what is one thing you think people need to focus on to be healthy? Can't say like nutrition or physical activity. What would you?
Setting boundaries.
Ooh, I love that.
Setting boundaries.
Wow, great answer.
Yeah, knowing where, and this is something that's going to come with time and learning yourself.
Yeah.
And just knowing where you need to draw the line to prioritize your own mental health and your own well-being.
Yeah. Wow. Fist bump on that. That was.
I've been going to therapy with my therapist, Ann. Shout out, Ann. We love you, Ann. For about 8 years now. So.
I definitely have jumped into that world over the past year, and it's been so impactful in who I am today compared to who I was a year ago or 2 years ago. Yeah.
So my goal I don't do New Year's resolutions. Like I set goals for myself when it comes to my running. Like my training plans are way more loosey-goosey than you think they are, to be honest. A lot of that comes from having a chronic illness, having to try to move things around.
FYI, she ran 73 miles last week.
Yeah. Some of that not fully on purpose.
Okay.
Or like at least like 10 miles were not planned.
Okay.
Like I was like, I'd like to hit this as my minimum mileage. I wanted to get over 60. So I guess that gives me 13 miles.
Yeah, right. You got a little buffer there. We had a conversation earlier today, and we heavily were talking about listening to your body.
Yeah.
And the importance of that. So.
Yeah, but my goal for myself now going on, I think 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is a daily goal I hold for myself, is just to be a little bit more myself every day. Be more authentically Julianna every single day. And it doesn't have to be in a big capacity. It can be like, I want cookie dough ice cream over vanilla. Like it can just be that, and that's the one little choice I made today, to stand up for who I authentically am as a human being.
Wow.
And just constantly trying to, in the best way possible, in a way that's productive to me personally. Like I don't want to try and just like step out into the streets and be like, accept me for who I am. Just
don't
like
shove it down people's throats.
Just be like, if someone has a conversation with me, just try and be authentic in that conversation in the best way that I can in that moment and what is healthy for me.
Wow.
And so that's kind of where I've gotten to this point now, where I'm just like out here on these streets, like being a flaming Julianna, just like
living your dream, though. You know.
I pinch myself every day. I understand this is not everyone's dream, but this, for me, I'm just like, this is the best thing. Like some people want to be like, they want to be living in a big mansion, and like sometimes that's great, but then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I have to clean that.
It's a lot of bills.
Yeah. And then if I don't, then I have to pay someone to clean it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
you gotta have a lot of parties, and there's a lot that comes with that.
Sometimes it's just too much. Too much is sometimes too much. And like for me, like this is fantastic. Like I show up to the TV studio, they know who I am. I show up places and I have friends.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I mean, even just like showing up to here, like we've been here for a couple hours now, and like a lot of conversation is like so laid back, and so to say like this is where you show up to work, like
this is where I do like my on the ground work, more or less.
The best is when work isn't work, right?
Yeah, which is kind of where I'd like to head. Like I'm trending with things, which is nice coming from that time when I was working in nursing homes as a dietitian, where and like I said, I do still have people I take on the side. Those are people who I feel like are like that dietitian relationship is benefiting me and the other person, and I'm just like, I'm doing this because like I feel like it's a positive experience. I walk away from it feeling good.
I 1,000,000% agree. The difference of like when I leave working at the clinics where I'm seeing 2-3 patients at a time all day. It
drains on you.
It is draining. I don't want to like say anything negative about it, but it does have a different drain than when I leave a client's house that I worked one-on-one with for an hour and really connected and treated the way I want to treat them. And they feel it too. Like not only do I feel it, they feel the difference. So I kind of had a bonus question in there, and I was going to ask, what would you say to yourself 10 years ago that you didn't know then that you know now? And I wonder if is it the same thing of
I think
be
it's
yourself?
Just like be yourself.
Yeah.
Like just do your thing, Julianna, and also just that acceptance is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Like accepting where you are in the moment is one of the hardest things to do, and a skill that I know I will never perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on perfecting, and kind of goes along the lines of like, I will be very sad when my therapist Anne retires, because I plan on just being in therapy until I pass away, because I'm always constantly going to be dealing with something. And like, I had this conversation with someone the other day of like, money doesn't solve problems, it just changes which problems you're dealing with.
Interesting.
So it's it's not paying the bills anymore, but it's like navigating other issues.
Yeah. Or do you ever have enough, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like pretty rich people who aren't happy, you know, or they don't feel like they're rich enough, and they're 10 times richer than you are, and it's like,
and they're still dead inside.
Yeah.
You can be full of life and happiness and not have the most money in the world.
Right.
You can also have the most money in the world and be dead inside.
Yeah, I've been learning the difference between rich and wealthy. And I think wealthy has that like mental component and health component to it than just monetarily rich.
Well, I think also you have to, when it comes to like the money side of things, you have to figure out what are your priorities and like what do you, there's great, like it's great to have money in the bank, you know?
Yeah, right.
That's what I've learned.
Need it, yeah.
And I'm sure you've learned this as a business, like simply online business owner
Yeah.
too. But like what is the minimum amount of money where you feel like you don't have to think about it
Like safe,
anymore?
yeah.
Yeah, we're like,
secure.
Yeah, where you feel like it's not a negative, it's not something you're worrying about every day.
Right.
If you're able to get to that point, especially as a business owner, where
Yeah.
you can be bringing in enough money where you're like, okay, I know I have enough money for this, like this is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed out about paying my bills, but I'm also like not fixated on just constantly trying to make money.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good zone to be in.
If your next marathon would be your last marathon ever, which one would it be?
Cape Cod. Because I know that if it was my
Yeah,
last
yeah.
marathon ever, and we actually, and like I announced it, the entire town would come out and cheer for me. And I would have like a roaring.
Run and announce? Do you do
No,
both?
I would want someone else. Honestly, my buddy Daniel would probably want to announce me finishing.
Yeah.
Or honestly, there'd probably be multiple. Now I'm just gonna like tear up because I'm thinking
Oh.
like, oh, there'd be probably be like a bunch of people who would want to announce it. It's gonna be the last one ever.
So y'all better show up and announce. And it's not going to be your next. It's not
No.
gonna be your last one. Yeah.
I'm running 26 Point True, and then I have the Watapa 50K, and then I have
But when
Berlin.
you're 98, and it probably will be your last marathon.
It's my
gonna
last
be-
one ever.
It's going to be Cape
Yeah.
Cod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I would get the hometown treatment from that, and
Okay.
I mean, when I run it already, I have a ton of people who
Yeah,
are like,
yeah.
and I was having this conversation with Scott Gelfi the other day too.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the Falmouth Road Race, I become the mayor of Falmouth for an hour from that start to the finish line.
Yeah.
But it's because my neighbors are out cheering. It's because the person who checks me out at the grocery store is at mile 2. It's because the person who I see on the like when I run in the morning, I see that person every morning and I wave to them. They're at mile 3.
Oh, that's great.
And so it's all the people who you like see throughout the entire year and your neighbors
Yeah.
who are now either out there on the course running with you
Yeah.
at a water station or out there cheering.
Which is like the theme of this whole show that I want, or series that I want to do. Is connecting people. Connection is like the biggest thing. We were just talking, before rolling here, about. She was talking about how AI is coming into play, but it's also finding that balance in life of like too much technology in the world, and people are trying to keep the human side of things, and so that balance and staying connected, even though technology probably has a capability of disconnecting us on the human side. I think the human connection is still super strong, and that's why I want to sit down and meet and talk face to face, and like as opposed to just texting. And I appreciate you very much for doing this with me.
Happy to do it, Ed.
So if anything you want to plug about Runnah?
I mean, if you'd like to watch Runnah, you can find us at RunnahPod on YouTube, and also RunnahPod on Instagram and TikTok, and just go ahead and search Runnah, RUNNAH, as it says on the screen behind us, podcast on Google, and that it should really be the only thing that comes up.
I guarantee you will be entertained with everything that's posted.
We try, when I say we, I mean me. Because I always say we, and I'm like, Julianna, it's just you.
Well, I clicked on it today. I was, just doom scrolling, and then your post about the jeans that showed up at your house. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, we solved that problem.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I think the girl put the wrong sticker, but I was just like, I don't know why I have a pair of size 10 petite jeans.
Yeah.
I'm neither size 10 nor petite.
It's very real. We were saying that too. It's just, it's everyday life situations, and also informative on running and shoes and the running community here.
Yeah, we're celebrating the running community, starting in Falmouth, moving out to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and beyond. So if you're a runner, if you want to learn more about being a runner, if you just like to connect with the running community or the Falmouth community, this is the place for you. So we welcome everyone, and love to have you here.
Love it. Thank you very much, Julianna.
Yeah, no problem, Ed.
All right.
Okay.
Take care. Bye. Boom.
So say, don't leave me hanging like that.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's a nice little finisher too. You can use it.